Hey everybody, Travis and Nikki here from wallsofyourcave.com again, coming at you from live on the highway. This time we are on 77 North. We are following the lines going north to Columbia, Maryland. We just left Charlotte. We had our first show in 5 days. Feels like it's been an awful long time. We were extremely excited for the show tonight. Couldn't wait to get back to it. It was a long, long break. We rested up. We hung out in Chicago. We ate some hot dogs at Wrigley Field. We cruised through the Cumberland Mountains. Beautiful, beautiful Cumberland Mountains. And so we got into town yesterday. We hung out in Charlotte a little bit today, and now we are gone. And we have a long drive ahead of us tonight. We're not going to stop for a long time. It'll still be dark, but just barely. Anyways. So, on with the show.
I'm still going north.
Yes, still going north.
Yes.
So, pretty clear the band was ready to get back on the stage too. They opened with the mics on. Seemed like Trey was as raring to go as we were. And then, of course, into Back on the Train, which I thought was quite appropriate, given that we were getting back on the train and being on tour again. And that was really well played. A lot of good stuff going on Back on the Train. Had a nice jam. So did Mike's, really. And slam right into the Week of Pog. Perfect Week of Pog.
I really like the Week of Pog.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yep, absolutely. Not worried about hearing it again. I live for repeats.
That should be the motto of today.
Motto of today. But I mean, you know, given that there was probably only a handful of people that were at both Chicago and Charlotte, and it was 4 days off, I feel like the slate was wiped clean, and no need for worrying about repeats or back-to-back shows or whatever. So, terrific Mike's Group, great way to start the show, and right into one of our favorites, Wingsuit, taking off. And really, the first set took off really nicely, I thought, with that opening combo, the Mike's Groove and then the Wingsuit. Wingsuit was again gorgeous, terrific, soaring, beautiful. Maybe not my favorite version so far, but it was perfect. I love that song. I think I play it every day, twice, and I would love it every single time.
It was beautiful, but it wasn't as good as it has been, I think.
Yeah, that's all right.
It didn't quite reach that peak.
That's a good way of putting it. It didn't quite have the peak that some of the other versions have had on this tour, but it was gorgeous. Tube was really funky tonight, I thought. Got into a little bit more of the dark, smutty place that reminded me of some of the 99, 2000 versions. I mean, not quite as out there as those versions were, but sort of starting to touch that territory again, which is nice for me. And then we had My Friend, I believe, for the second time this tour.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, really, really nicely played. I thought Trey nailed it. Did the fun grind, the guitar down the mic. I always love hearing that song. I love all the songs on riffs. It reminds me of when I fell in love with the band and all that stuff. And then so we went from the old stuff to the new stuff. We had Winter Queen, another wonderful version. Really, it seemed like it didn't go over so hot with the crowd. It seemed like the crowd was more in the raucous drinking kind of mood, and Winter Queen was more on the mellow vibe. So I don't feel like that one really went over too well, although I really enjoyed it. And then we had, all right, Beauty of the Broken Heart. First Beauty of the Broken Heart tour.
That was exciting. I really love that song.
Yeah.
A lot, and I would actually like to hear that a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Because I love all of those Page songs. I think they're great, especially that one. But
yeah.
I kind of equated to halfway. But
sure. Yeah. I guess they were both written around the same time. I kind of prefer Halfway to the Moon, but they're both terrific songs, and I'll take either of them anytime they want to play it.
I don't know which one I like better.
Yeah, hard to pick a favorite. I think at first I liked Beautiful Broken Heart better, and I've sort of come around more on Halfway to the Moon, and that's really my favorite of Page's new crop. But both awesome and terrific to hear. First time on the tour, and great to hear. We had David Bowie, which was probably the highlight of the first set. I don't know, maybe the Mike's Group was the highlight, or maybe the Bowie was the highlight. Bowie was terrific tonight. Very psychedelic, very dark, very evil sounding. just a terrific version overall. Probably my favorite version of the tour, although would need to re-listen to the others to make that statement. Obviously, we're excited and fresh out of the show. I want to say it's my favorite of the tour. Yeah. So we'll say, hey, we're entering Virginia. Woo! See you later, North Carolina. All right, so Bowie was fantastic. Closed the set with Golgi, another first-timer of the tour. I've sort of been wondering where Golgi's been at. I know a lot of you guys out there have been wondering the same thing. But great to hear.
Charlotte.
Yeah, it was in Charlotte. He's been waiting. Love hearing Golgi. One of those old school fishy songs. He was the opener at my first show, so I always have that nice memory. And always a blast to hear it. Again, kind of like last time from the car, this is where I might start talking about some merch. We did have poster and coin today, but I do not want to break them out here in the middle of the highway. So again, after tomorrow night's show, when we're doing the recap video, I will show you the merch from Merriweather Round 1, and I will show you the merch from tonight. Don't worry, we got it. It's sitting here, but don't want to try to mess around with taking the poster out of the tube here on the highway. So we'll go right on to set 2.
Set 2. Set 2 was very strange for me.
555 opener. Terrific to hear. 555. Was that the first time they played it in the second set on tour?
No, I think there was another one.
There was another one in the second set? She's probably right.
Philly? No. Sorry, I have a terrible memory for actual dates, but I do believe they have played it in the second set.
At any rate, it has been mostly a first set song on this tour, and it was the second set opening slot tonight. Terrific. I was kind of actually hoping that they might sort of use it as a launching pad and take it out a little bit more than they have so far on this tour, but they did. It was, standard version. Great to hear. I mean, it's hard for me to go more than a few hours without hearing 555, so given that it's been 5 days, I was pretty jacked up for it. I thought it was a nice placement. Dug it. It sounded great in that spot. Keep it up, guys. And then we had the launching pad that is Chalk Dust Torture, now all of a sudden a jam vehicle. And we had another extended jam tonight, not quite as long as the Randall's Island version, but not quite as long as Randall's Island, but very spacey, more mothership jamming. Really a terrific version. Really,
it was very interesting.
Yeah, got deep. Anyone out there, terrific Chalk Dust, and I love that they're using Chalk Dust as a jam vehicle. I mean, it's like whole new life breathed into this song that they've been playing for decades. It's fantastic, and it's really exciting for everybody, especially us. So, this chunk of the show was really sort of the highlight. The end of Chalk Dust got all spaced out and went right into Fuego. Just perfect. Really, just couldn't have been any better. Sort of rising from the ashes of the Chalk Dust was Page's opening notes of Fuego. Fantastic. Again, Fuego, it had been so long, it felt like forever since we heard it. I mean, they should have at least set up shop on some TV show and played it or something. I mean, come on, guys. I was dying.
I love Fuego. I can hear it all the time.
Absolutely. And another terrific version, again, not as extended as the Man in Spac versions that are still the standouts so far, but we will take it any way we can get it. We love Fuego, and we loved hearing it tonight. It rocked, and it had a nice, not very extensive, it had a nice little spacey jam at the end, sort of continuing on a lot of the themes we were touching on during Chalk Dust. Do you agree with that?
I would actually.
And again, another just a perfect transition. Maybe not a true real seg like we got later on in the set, but a really, really excellent transition into twist. You could hear the twist coming. You could hear Fishman starting it, and you could hear Trey kind of setting his tone up towards the end of Fuego, and went right into it. We got some Fuego teases in there, and it was a terrific version of twist. Nice jam, not too stretched out, but it fit very nicely into the overall opening, say 40 to 50 minute segment of the second set, where it felt like one longer continuous piece of improv where twist was a really nice chunk of it. Got real dark and dirty again nicely. Paige and Trey really interacting, Gordon just holding it down and keep just laying that solid foundation that allows the darkness to really flow through. And that was a terrific version of twist overall. And then it had, this was my favorite segue of the year, and maybe longer.
Just of the year?
Absolutely.
That's very strong.
It was so smooth.
It was pretty perfect.
they were playing Circus for a good 2 or 3 minutes before they went into it. I mean, you could hear it. Gordon really drove this one. He was playing the bass line for Circus for a long time, and Trey sort of started picking up on it and sort of just layering into it, and it was a seamless transition, just absolutely perfect. 1 minute they're in the middle of a totally unique creative twist jam, and the next minute, it's just building and building and building, and all of a sudden that's when the Circus comes.
It was very smooth.
Well played, really just perfectly pulled off. Very, very impressed with the way that they managed to pull that one off. And when the Circus comes to town, a cover song, which have been few and far between on this tour, and first time on the tour.
And it was very well played. I really liked it a lot, actually.
I love Circus.
I think the guy behind us screaming the lyrics really liked it too.
He was excited. We even made T-shirts for when the Circus comes to town one year. I think there might be 1 or 2 of them left on wallsofyourcave.com. Little plug for my shirts there. Lemmy Winks never thought he could make it this far.
If you watch South Park and you understand the whole gerbil thing, you'll understand the reference. If not, then it would be funny to wear around somebody who did.
Anyways, back to the show here. We have Piper coming up next. Very exciting. I thought it was, I was ready for, the set to really launch into the stratosphere here. It had already been so terrific up to this point. And when they started Piper, I was just thinking, how much harder can they bring it? But Piper, this is where the set kind of started to get a little weird for me, actually.
This really upset me.
It's upset Nikki a little bit. She was...
Not that, I just thought it was very strange. And I didn't like how, I don't know who's responsible, but the Piper was the Piper, and it was exciting, and it was like, okay, this is great, we're going to hear it again, and it just started getting into it. They just started feeling the groove in it, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Trey's playing Rift. It was weird. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't get it. All of a sudden, it's Rift, and then it felt like it took a little while for the rest of the band to realize, oh, we're not playing Piper anymore, even though they should have been finishing it up.
Yeah, Piper was very short.
It was weird. It was just plain weird.
Yeah, it was weird. What can you say? Maybe Trey wasn't feeling it. I was feeling it. It seemed like they were rocking out. It seemed like they were ready to go.
The rest of the band felt like they were feeling it. The rest of the band was feeling it. Trey wanted to play Rift. Hey,
I'll take Rift anytime. I love Rift, but...
yeah, just weird.
So yeah, segged into Rift again. Kind of weird placement. Rift, usually a first set song. Kind of weird deep in the second set. But
I even thought it was weirdly sloppy.
It was a little sloppy. I think it was because the rest of the band wasn't really ready to go for it yet. But it kind of killed a little bit of the momentum of the set that had been built up so far for me. And, it was just kind of a little weird. But, no. Again, like I said, I love Rift. So
it's always fun to hear the song, just not in the middle of Piper.
Yeah. So then we got Waiting All Night, back to the new stuff. I love Waiting All Night, beautiful song. And I love it deep in the second set. It's such a nice cool out song. And boy, did we need to cool down in there. It was hot. And I mean hot and humid, sticky, nasty in there. And it was nice to get a chance to take a breath during Waiting All Night and just relax for a minute. Not too much else to say about that one. Great tune, well played, and perfectly placed. Fit very nicely with the next track, which was Reba. This may have been the highlight. I have a lot of highlights of the show tonight.
I think this was the absolute highlight.
This version, outstanding. I love Reba. Everybody loves Reba. I do not love Reba. But this version was very different than the other ones they've played so far on this tour. I don't know if it was better or worse. Really just different, but the word that kept coming to my mind as they were playing was haunting. I thought Trey's guitar licks were haunting. He was very minimalist. He was not shredding it apart like he was the Chicago version. He was just, there was so much space in between. He was letting the rest of the band just take over and just fitting in all the right spots and playing. His playing was very different and very impressive. I loved it. It was right in my alley, right in my sweet spot. Again, it's so fresh, but this might have been my favorite Reba of the tour, just because it was so different and so unique.
It was really beautiful.
I loved it. absolutely.
The heights that it reached were really fabulous.
If you're a big fan of Reba, I really highly suggest going and checking this one out. Just giving it a listen and seeing what you think.
And someday I'm going to figure out how to sign the entire song.
So we closed the show with Character Zero. Again, one of my favorites, headbanging. Great way to put a capper on a night. All weirdness behind us, and just a great way to send us off with a big smile. But not before we had the encore of Loving Cup, another first timer of the tour. We love the Rolling Stones. They were keeping it rolling. We're rolling to fucking Columbia. Always great to hear. Of course, we've been worried that they weren't going to play it anymore because of the covers thing, and it's glad I know it's still in rotation. Obviously, they don't have to encore with it every 3 shows like they did the last couple of years, but we like having it around. We love it. Beautiful buzz. We all went out happy. It's great to be back. We're excited to be seeing Fish again. Happy birthday, Steven. Hope you had a great show tonight.
Yes, happy birthday, Steven.
And we have high hopes from Airweather. Maybe tonight wasn't the best show of the tour. There was a lot of really cool stuff that happened. And like we said, some weirdness in the second set. But no complaints. I'm not complaining about anything. I had a blast. Loved the show. Tons of good stuff in there.
Overall, I thought it was a pretty strong show.
Yeah, I think they're only going to keep on getting better. I think they're just about to blow the roof off the Merriweather Post. I heard a rumor that they're going to raise the roof there at Merriweather in the next couple of years to provide some better sightlines for the lawn. But they better watch out because I think that roof might not even be there after this weekend. They are going to kill that place. I can't wait. I love Merriweather Post Pavilion. It's one of my favorite venues to see Fish at. Sounds terrific in there. I'm really looking forward to it. So we're excited. We'll see you in Columbia. Everybody else drive safe. We're going to drive safe. Nikki's driving very safely right now. Nice job, Nikki. We're keeping it rolling. Roll with the changes.
Keeping it rolling.
rolling. Keep them doggies rolling. Right.